Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my channel, Chess Strategy. Today we are celebrating because I have recently passed the magic mark of 20,000 subscribers. So that's a milestone for this channel on our way up to 100,000 somewhere along the way and above that later on. But 20,000 is a really nice number. I didn't think I would reach that when I started this channel, but now we're here. So to celebrate that, we're gonna look at a very, very tough study here. It's white to move. You see, we have double pawns here going in this direction. The black rook is stopping them, but we have to find the right strategy for us to win this. It's not that easy. It's pretty hard, I must say, but we're going to get there. So what you're going to do now is to pause the video, analyze this on your own time, take the time you need, and see if you can find out how white has to play this to win. Go ahead. So, welcome back. Okay, so the black king is in our way. He wants to, of course, get up here and grab this pawn. He wants to, if he is allowed to come closer to these pawns, we are going to lose them and we're going to settle for a draw. So somehow we got to block the black king out, but at the same time, also we need to get our king up here towards these pawns. Otherwise, we cannot win. So we're gonna circle around the black king somehow. And how are we gonna do that? Well, with opposition. So let's see what happens if we just do a random move here, getting our king up closer. Black will run towards our pawns like this. And as said, if he's allowed to come up here, he's gonna win, which means we have to stop him by playing the rook to d7. It's good here. It's guarded by our pawn. It stops the king from getting closer, but it doesn't really push us forward. So if we do that, black will come back to exactly f3 to win the opposition towards our king. If we do something like this, he will just go back and he will end up on f3 again. Now, if we try to get our king around it, black will just follow us like this, like a little dog, and block us. Even though we end up trying to get to h7 to force him away. Now, black has a good defense move, which is rook to e8. The thing is, what we plan, if the black rook leaves c8, we will go here and protect our promotion. But if we get our king on the 7th rank, black will simply have the opportunity to check, grab this pawn, and of course from there it's a draw. So this whole variation falls on this idea, which means we cannot start with the king to h3. Should we start with rook e7 perhaps to block the black king out like this? Well, it doesn't matter. As long as we are on the h file, he will play king f2 and he will end up in the same variation here, the same opposition. Again, if we try to check, he will run towards the e file. He doesn't have to run all the way up here. He just wants to get on the c file and then we are facing a draw, which means we have to go back, and from here it will be the exact same thing. Okay, so if we start with a check, well, this is interesting because he will now not go to e4. That is winning for us because then he will not be able to make the opposition, but instead he will go to e3 or perhaps e2 even. Then again, he's threatening to come to the d file. We are forced to stop him, and then he comes back to f2, and it all starts over again. So the starting move, the only starting move here for white to win, is instead to try to escape under the black king, so to speak. We have to go to g1. And the idea for us is to just run over to the c file, put our rook on d7, and then work the king up somewhere like this. But black will try his best. The best defense for him is to stop our king from coming, and he goes to e2. This is stopping the king and at the same time also threatening to come to the c file, which he wants to do in order to save the draw. So we are forced again to put the rook on d7, and now black king comes to e1. So is this opposition now? Well, there's a difference because now our king is on the g file and not the h file, which gives up a little bit more wiggling move, so to say, some maneuver possibilities here. So we are still winning this. And it's not time to pause again. We will just look at this. We will now run up and he will do the same, trying to get the opposition. The thing is, after we come up here and he goes here, we have some wiggle room, so to say. Now we can also choose to go back to the H file in some positions. So now is a good time to post the video again and analyze all of this second time and see if you can find out the victory from here. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. So we push the king to g7. Now the black king cannot follow. The black rook can again come to e8 as we looked at before. If we play this, there will be a check and this will be a draw. But what do we do from here? Well, we do not go back to g6. Instead, we play the king to h6. Now we're getting away from the possibility of check and take the rook, which means if black does something like this, try to get the opposition again. Now we have the opportunity to just play rook d8. And of course, this is winning easily. So after king h6, the black rook is forced back to c8. And how do we play this? Well, then we can get the opposition by playing the king to g6. Now, if the king moves, we will be allowed to get in closer. If he gets another check, well, again, then we will escape the h file, but to h5 this time. Which means that now we really have the chance to go around. If this comes, well, look at this. Now we will do something like this, and the king is stopped. We will get over here, get up here, and win this in the end. So let's see. Back when we were here, we were escaping. If he tries some check instead, what will we do then? You want to look at it? Well, we just attack it with king g7. He's forced back to c8, and it will transform into the same position as we looked at. Now, either the king moves and we go here, or the check comes, we come here, he's forced back, and it was the same variation we looked at. So, after king g7, cannot do anything with the king. He's with the rook. He's forced to play king e5, and now we get the chance to go into f7 with our king. If the black king moves again somewhere, well, then we can come here, hide on d6, and then just run around and win this. So in this position, instead, black will try to play the rook to h8, which gives us some trouble perhaps. So from here, again, you have another chance to pause the video and see if you can find out how white has to play to win. Go ahead. Okay, welcome back. So attacking with g7 doesn't give us anything because the rook will come back. We will play here again, and the rook will come back to h8. We can do that once, but if we try it again, it's going to be a repetition and a draw. So now we have to find the exact move, which is the king to g6. The rook shouldn't move. It's perfect here on d7. It blocks everything out and is protected by our pawn, so it cannot be touched. king to g6 is the move. Now, if the check comes, then we've seen this before, h5, and as we're threatening here, he has to come back, or another check, and again we will be able to run around. Or if he comes back, now we must claim the opposition, which means we cannot go here, we cannot go here, we have to go to exactly g5, force the black king to move either here and we win, or here and we will win here by getting the king over. Or if another check, again we know the drill now, we will go down to h4, force him back, and now we get the chance to get the king down here and up again. So let's look at king g6, and he's coming back instead. So there's no point for us to come back here. He will come here again, so there's no point. If we go here, black will play king e6, and we're stuck again. So again, we have to take the opposition like this. If the king moves down here, we are allowed in. If the king moves up here, we are allowed to get here and just run over and win. And if the rook check comes, we will again escape down to h4. The rook is forced back, and we will follow this through like this. Something like this. And we will just be running, and we will win. Attack here, and now it's all done. So we're going to checkmate. So this is a long variation, a long study, but it's very important to know all the rules about opposition, and we have to get away from it by starting to play king g1. Otherwise, we will not win this. All right, thank you for watching this very long video. It was a celebration of the 20,000 subscribers. If you want to become one, well, you see where you can push now. Just follow my channel and watch more of this studies and puzzles every day. I will post something for you, and I hope you will join me and stay forever. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.